Okay, so multiplying and dividing integers. It's actually a simplified set of rules. The main thing is that you don't crisscross your rules for the different operations, okay? Your addition rules are set for your addition problems. Your subtraction rules are set for your subtraction problems. And these new rules only work for multiplication division problems. Please keep that in mind. Don't try to mix and match. All right? Now, if it tells you to multiply, all you have to do is multiply your two numbers. All right? If it tells you to divide, all you have to do is divide those two numbers. Then look at the signs. If they are the same, your answer is positive. It's always going to be positive if it's the same. So a positive times a positive is a positive. A negative times a negative is also a positive. And I know that's the one that kind of gets a lot of people, but negative times a negative, or even if with the division problem, right? A negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. And I'll go over some examples of that later on. If you have different signs where one number is positive and one number is negative, now it doesn't matter which one is bigger or which one is smaller. As long as they are opposites, your answer will always be negative, okay? So different signs, always negative. Same signs, always positive. Again, there was a great Santi video, a music video that MC Santi made. Does a really good job. So go check that out. I put it on the Google Classroom for you. But let's try some of these problems and hopefully we kind of understand where this is all coming from. All right. So again, same signs positive, different signs negative. So let's just look at something again. If you don't know or don't remember, but multiplication is nothing more than repeated addition. That's all it is. 5 times 4, or like we talked about, 4 times 5, they tell us the same thing. It's the commutative property that order in which you multiply and add, the order in which they're sitting in will not affect your answer. So if you have 5 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 5, you all together have a total of 20, right? And again, if you look at it, if I said 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, right? I have 4 5s, which is exactly what this problem is telling me. We add those friends together, and guess what? You get 20. Okay? Now, it's the same thing if you were to throw a negative into the mix. All right? So again, let's just say I have 2 negative 4s. 2 times negative 4, which is the same thing as, again, saying negative 4 plus negative 4. Same signs, add, keep the sign. That's negative 8. Now, if we go back to our original problem, again, this is all you have to do. I'm showing you the y. All you have to do is actually just multiply. And again, if you'll notice, I put a dot there. The dot means multiply. When we're talking about algebraic equations and everything with variables where they use letters, a lot of times they try to get away from that x. But that also is another way to tell that it's a multiplication problem. And even when they're back to back like this, if you don't see an operation in between, like we got here, right? If they're back to back, that means multiply. You automatically know that you're going to be multiplying that. So either way, it's telling you the same problem. 2 times 4 is 8 different signs, so it's a negative 8. And that's really all there is to it. There's not a lot that you have to do. So now here is where a lot of people get confused, which is a negative times a negative actually makes it a positive. So let's look at it. if I got negative 3 times negative 4, okay? If you just go through the rules, 3 times 4, that's 12. Negative times a negative is the same sign, so it's actually going to be a positive 12. Now, here's kind of why that works. If we're talking about 3 times negative 4, which again, this is a different problem. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Okay? And again, let's say you have 3 negative 4s, which would be 4 steps back plus another 4 steps back plus another 4 steps back. You end up 12 steps behind where you start, right? It's nothing more than an easier way to write. Multiplication is nothing more than an easier way to write repeated addition. Now, if you have the opposite of that, right? The opposite, if I said negative 3 times negative 4, is going to be the opposite of negative 12. And the opposite of negative 12 is, guessed it, opposite of a negative is a positive. So this would be positive 12. That's why this negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Because it's the opposite of this. All right. Now, same is true when we divide. When you got a division problem, get some better colors in here. Here we go. When you got a division problem, it's the same rules. Okay. Now, a lot of times you might write a problem like this: 20 divided by negative 4, which means, again, the same thing as a division sign: 20 divided by negative 4. Or if you build a house, right? When you build a house, top goes in, 20 goes in, bottom number goes out. They're all going to give you the same answer. All right, so again, all you got to do, 20 divided by 4 is 5. You look at the signs, they are different, so your answer is negative 5. All right, now, that was the different signs. If you have the same signs, you got negative 8 divided by negative 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. They are the same, so that is a positive 2. And really, that's all there is. There's other videos on the stream. Check those out too. So good luck. Email me if you got any questions.